Morning, guys. I just wanted to say hi and let you know that Easter's on its way. I know we've talked about that a little bit on Sunday morning. Easter is a great holiday to celebrate. It doesn't have anything to do with gifts and all that kind of stuff. It really boils down to the fact that we celebrate the underdog as he wins the game. Kind of like the Chiefs when they were down so low at the very first part of the Super Bowl and then they came back. We love to celebrate those kind of victories. Well, for Jesus, it was similar. He was a guy who was coming here to help us with our sin. He was crucified, and it seemed like the game was over for him. And yet, he was buried, and on the third day, he rose again. And we celebrate that. But this year, due to the terrible situations that we're in, we might find it difficult to celebrate. For instance, I found out just a couple days ago that Top Gun, the movie that was supposed to come out this summer, has been pushed back to December. I'm very disappointed in that. Many families are really struggling because children are out of school and parents are having a difficult time trying to figure out how to do school and how to do childcare while they're trying to stay employed. Other situations, the social distancing thing, it's a word that's almost becoming one of those things that just drives you crazy every time you hear it, but it is being said constantly and pushed that we need to keep ourselves separate from one another. Another one is just the masks and the coverings and the fact that we can't even see people's smiles anymore. Every time we turn around, we're being limited on how much contact we can make with one another. Another one is just the job cuts in general. Job cuts and the suspensions and all those difficulties that are going to be created because of that. Those are difficult things that we're having to endure. The long lines, Walmart and different stores are limiting the capacity of people that come in. And those long lines are creating a little bit of a hardship. Let's see. Oh, the nurses and the doctors. The nurses and the doctors on the front lines beginning to show some stress because of the fact that they are scared that they are going to contract the virus and also pass that on to their family. So pray for them during this difficult time. And of course, just the economy in general. Everything that's going bad and everything that's stopping and everything that is shut down. It's lost money, not just for workers, but also tax revenue, and tax revenue funds the programs to help people. We were told to do a 15-day lockout, then that went to 30 days, and who knows if it's going to be extended again, but just the difficulties just keep rolling on and on and on. I have seniors that I am very concerned about and sad about because they're not able to celebrate their graduations, even their proms and different things that they've had to endure. And it just keeps coming, and it just keeps coming, and it just keeps coming over and over and over again. All these difficulties. We have all these difficulties of things that people are having to endure. And during this time of great difficulty on such a global scale, the situation can be very ominous and overwhelmingly difficult to find ourselves in a position to celebrate. But that's exactly what we need to do. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14 to 16 says this. Through Jesus, therefore, let us continually offer to God a sacrifice of praise, the fruit of lips that confess his name. And do not forget to do good and share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased. As Easter approaches this year, things will look a lot different than they have in the past. And so I want to encourage you to take this opportunity to look at Easter a lot differently than you have in the past. Easter is not just a celebration of what Jesus did for us 2,000 years ago. It's also a celebration of what God has been doing in our lives and through our lives in Jesus for the past 2,000 years. Now, you may have noticed I used a roll of toilet paper to illustrate all the bad things that were going on. And I think that's partly because people in human nature tend to focus on the negative. And yet, at the same time, I think it's a very symbolic thing. Things are really poopy right now. And I think it all comes down to our perspective. And I think that's why the writer of Hebrews tells us we need to offer up a sacrifice of praise, that we need to offer up a sacrifice of service to others. So what I want to encourage you guys to do is to take one of your rolls of toilet paper out of your bathroom, a new roll, a fresh roll, and sacrifice that, okay, because it's apparently a very hot commodity, sacrifice that one roll as an exercise of praise and sacrifice to others, okay? And by doing that, what I mean is every day, as you go about your day, periodically tear off a piece of paper and write something on it. Write a praise to God for some blessing that you have had during the day. Maybe peel off another paper, one square at a time, please, and offer up a quick note of encouragement to somebody. Peel off another paper and then write another praise to God. Peel off another set of paper and bake some cookies for somebody. Peel off another set of paper and mow the lawn for the neighbor. Peel off another one and offer another set of praises to God. And do that in your family daily. And just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until the roll runs out. And I think one of the things that you'll see is, number one, it is difficult to do sometimes. When things are just feeling like they're rolling bad, feeling like they're falling apart, it's hard to offer that sacrifice of praise. It's hard to look past ourselves and see the needs of others. And yet, when we do that, it's good and it helps, and will not only help others, it will also help us as well.